Good morning. I'm out early this morning on my long walk. It's been a really off week. It's kind of humid, but it's not as hot as it's been. And I think that was part of being just off. Before I get into my vlog today, if you're new here, I'm Karen. And last December, I lost my exercise mojo in a big way. And I'm getting it back now, one workout at a time. And I'm inviting you to come along with me. My next goal is a 10K that I plan to do on October 7th. It's made me think that, the goal is not the 10K. The goal is just getting out there and doing something. And it's also getting over the finish line, period. It doesn't matter how fast I go. It doesn't matter how good I am. It's just about getting out there and doing it. And it's part of the reason I want to vlog this is because that's what we need to do. We just need to get out there and move. First of all, it's been an off week. It started last Sunday, a week ago from today. I had to cut my long walk short because my knee was bothering me. And it's been good pretty much through this whole training. And it was hurting badly enough that I didn't want to do any kind of damage to it. And, I think I have this inner slug in me. I call it the slug. A saboteur that is constantly trying to tell me I need to slow down. I need to stop moving. I need to relax and take it easy, or have more pressing things to do today. And it's like the Serenity Prayer. There's a little bit of wisdom involved in knowing the difference of when to slow down, when to stop, and when to push. So I knew at that point I needed not to push myself. And then that was last Sunday. Monday, I was out with some friends. It was Labor Day. And I didn't take my own advice. And we were out and it was hot and I got dehydrated because I wasn't drinking enough. I wasn't drinking at all, really. So my second mistake was I didn't refuel with any electrolytes. The next day, I went out and it was really hot and humid and I sweat again. And I think because I had been depleted the day before, even though I drank and thought I was drinking enough water, I was good for nothing Tuesday afternoon. Just blotto. Now, the way the rest of and that really set the stage for the rest of the week. I was like, just not with it. I ended up not doing any, so I ended up not doing any sprints that I try to do once a week. And it just threw off my pace. So anyway, trying to get that back. I'm on a rail trail that is gently graded uphill for the first roughly probably a little less than 4 miles. And I seem to do better on the uphills for some reason than I do on the downhills. So my goal for today is to simply get in the miles, and that will be a little bit more than 5 miles is the goal. But there are places I can get off this trail at like 4.3 miles, and again at 5. So there are some places where I can get off and call my husband and ask to be rescued. But I don't know whether you can hear the crickets. It's a nice morning. It's early, so there are not a lot of people out. And this is what I'm seeing. I'm going to check in with you again. I'm going to check in with you again at 3 mile mark,
driving people
half, and let you know how I'm doing. Okay, I just took a little break to show you probably the most beautiful view on my walk. I've been going for a little more than an hour, and I'm feeling good. I think today is really an on day if things continue. One of the things that I really didn't know was food, because if I eat before I go out, it weighs me down. But after an hour, I need to eat something. I looked at something like an energy bar, and they have a lot of sugar in them, and I don't do well with sugar on an empty stomach. So I brought some dried apricots, and I do have some water with me also. And hopefully that will do the trick. You know, I wanted to say the biggest challenge for this whole thing has been maintaining good form. And those of you who, I've been kind of talking about my history in these videos, but if you haven't watched them, 4 years ago I was running 12 miles a week, and a 10K was really my long run on the weekends. And then I was walking another 6 because I was going to the gym 3 days a week for strength training, and I was walking there and back. And I was in the best, I was 61 years old and was in the best shape of my life. And then my knee started to bother me. And I'd rest it for a while, and it would be better again, and I'd run again. And I started training because my long run was 6 miles, and I could do that fairly easily. I decided to train for a half marathon, and that's when things really started going downhill. I'd rest the knee, and it would start hurting again. And as everyone else in my group started ramping up their mileage, mine was ramping down. So I finally got to an orthopedist, and the orthopedist said, your knee's shot, you have arthritis, the kneecap's tracking way off, you're gonna need injections for every few months for the next few years, and then after that a total knee replacement. You'll never run again. And I said, can we try some physical therapy first? I really didn't want to go down the rabbit hole of injections. And I'd like to say physical therapy has been wonderful, but we've made a lot of changes, and I wish I would have made those changes before I started running. because a lifetime of walking a little bit off kilter felt normal to me. One of the things, for instance, the way I'm loading, I was actually loading weight on a little bit on the outside of my feet. I thought I was walking steadily, but I actually wasn't. And I knew my one hip was stronger than the other, but I didn't realize how much that was throwing me off. So physical therapy has really helped tremendously. Here's the catch with physical therapy. You get exercises, you have to keep doing them. No way around that. You feel good, you stop doing them, which I've fallen into that trap, and then your knee starts, or whatever it's working on, starts hurting again. So you have to keep doing it. I've been working with a physical therapist now for 2 years, almost 2 years. The same physical therapist, and she's been wonderful. I have an interview set up with her, and this is a point where I can say, if you have any questions for her that I can ask her, write them down in the comments, and I will pass them on to her. And during our interview, it's not going to be live, it's going to be recorded, so you won't be able to ask them live. Or shoot me a private message on Instagram or Facebook. Because I wish I probably wouldn't be in this situation if I'd had physical therapy and addressed some of these underlying problems before I started getting active. Okay, I am going to sign off now. Let's see. I've been going for 71 minutes and 3.6 miles. Almost 3.7 actually. So I will see you at the end of my walk. Camera isn't picking him up. That's the problem. You know, little guy, you really need to move. And this is a welcome sight. I have this iced coffee. It's just what I needed. I'm waiting for a pickup now. Biggest mistake, I didn't wear my hat. And I knew that I'd forgotten it, but decided not to go back for it. And the hat really is good for, it keeps not just the sun out of my eyes, but it keeps the hair and perspiration out of my eyes. And so that actually was not fun because it was really hot. No, it's not really hot, but it's really humid. And so, as you can see, I was sweating a lot. My knee feels good, and that's the primary thing. I just made a little bit more than 5 miles. My counter, my Apple Watch, I paused it to show you that lovely picture, and then I forgot to start it again, so it's not accurate, but I'll check the mileage on Map My Run when I get home, but I think it was a little bit more, like 5.3 miles. I hope that this is an omen for a better week this week, and I will replace electrolytes. Oh, there's something else you can let me know in the comments. Electrolyte replacements. If you have a good one that you like that doesn't have a lot of sugar in it, I'd prefer natural sweeteners like fruit juice. Anyway, my ride's here.